Welcome everyone to episode 52 of the World Stone Keep. We're on 52, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, okay, I just checked. Yeah, we're 52. This is our very first time recording a show playing the full game.
So it's like episode 1 AD after Diablo.
Worked out.
And we've all... Whoops, that's not where I wanted to go. False alarm. I was running around while we were waiting for Jordan.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, there we go. We're starting out on the Skeleton King, since by now we've recorded enough friggin' shows of running through the first part up to the Skeleton King.
Are we
It
even
didn't
here?
change in any significant ways.
No, so this is kind of our send-off where we're starting out, just killing the Skeleton King for kicks. And then we're going to move on from there. Groundbreaking moment.
I see an angel ahead of me. Oh wait, that's just Ken.
Oh, yeah.
Rocking the Collector's Edition wings, baby.
So what's everyone's highest level so far?
I'm up
I have a
to
level
62.
12.
Do we all have a 60? Have we all hit 60?
I believe so. I'm 60. On my barb.
60. Ken is obviously 60.
No, I don't have a 60.
I'd like to point out I was the first of the group to kill Diablo.
Yes.
Were you?
I was.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I remember. I was stuck at work that day. I couldn't sleep that night, so I went into work at 1:30 a.m. on Monday night. And then when Jordan got his game, I was texting him while I was at work. I was like, "What level are you? What part are you at? Have you beat the Skeleton King yet?" I was bugging
Like, no.
all day.
No, I haven't. It takes a while.
I should point out I was the first one to kill the Butcher on Inferno.
Ooh, yeah.
Now what?
I haven't. I've messed around in Inferno in a bit, and I just got stomped. It's no good. Though technically, I shouldn't be in Inferno yet. I'm still on Act 3. But I jumped in and killed Diablo with Mark. Motor Skull. Well, that's a stretch. I actually died and had him kill it for me. He tried reviving me. But it
That's
didn't
what
work.
Alright, let's see how we do. Punch, punch. Yeah, punch him.
Get him!
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Man, my bow does so much damage.
My laptop does not approve of that many spiders.
Yay!
Whoa, what's this? Whoa, new content.
Oh my god.
Desolate Chamber. What could it be? Oh!
Is
Spoiler alert! If you haven't played this far, you don't want to continue watching.
My heart was hammering like so hard when I finally got here. It was like I was fairly certain I knew what was up, but it's
That's
Alright.
Okay, so first up, we're going to give our non-spoiler review of the game, and then we're going to give everybody the warning that we're going to get into the spoiler review. So, non-spoiler review, what's everybody think of the full game? Doug,
Woo!
Dang.
That's my official take.
So good. Everything I expected it to be and more.
Oh, yeah.
My non-spoiler take, absolutely love it. I think the art blew me away in ways I wasn't even expecting, and I think that was the most pleasant thing for me, was that it really did surprise me in certain ways. Not necessarily story-wise or mechanics-wise, but a lot of little things about it, about the difficulty, a lot of things about it really surprised me, and I loved that. And I think the art is great and gets better as you go through.
I got to punch things a few 100,000 times in rapid succession, so I'm happy.
Low, give me a ride, ferryman. I agree. I thought the game was
You're on the
excellent.
wrong quest.
I had such a great time playing through the first time.
There was,
What's going on here?
There's a few things that, like with the story that I knew was going to happen, but there were a few surprises for me.
Definitely.
Yep, they throw a couple curveballs in there.
It's actually a surprise. Like, it's a surprisingly well told story.
Oh, wow. What just happened? Oh, I got a new lore and it gave me half a level. Ha! I did 3 things and I leveled up. Excellent.
That never happened in the beta.
Yeah.
Dude, these little poison are mean.
Poison.
That was actually the very first time I died. A monk was in this place to flowers. I was killing the old man.
It's amazing.
Alright, so non-spoiler review, game's amazing. You should definitely play it, because now we're going to get into the spoiler review. So if you have not played, beat the game yet on normal, do not listen any further. Go beat the game, and then listen to the show. So, everybody review spoiler.
So how about Leah getting eaten? How about that?
I had to... My wife had
I
to
was
play...
absolutely amazed to find out that Deckard Cain was made of chocolate the whole time.
He had such a lame death, man. I was so bummed. I
was okay with it.
I called that, though. I called him biting the dust.
I think he didn't actually die by Magda. I think he actually just had a heart attack. Guy was like 700 years old.
I wanted
He
to
died earlier in the game than I was expecting. Ooh,
Yeah, he died very early on.
Has anyone read the order yet?
That's what I'm saying, man. He should have. No, I started it a bit. Let's just say everything Deckard Cain's is Deckard Cain's fault.
I've only started it, literally only like chapter 3, but man, that paladin got owned quick, didn't he? It's like 30 pages in, he got owned.
Yeah. We'll have a full review on that when we get back into lore sometime.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that poison's mean, man.
When you're level 2, that's no good. Helping you guys get your Reds achievements.
Do you want to do the farm?
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet. Yeah, so my wife hadn't played Diablo 2, so she was playing through, and I actually had to go back and explain, like, what happens when the Soul Stone takes over, like, Aiden, and, like, when the Wanderer turned into Diablo, and I was like, so, long story short, Leah is super dead. Like, no!
Like,
Well,
there's no coming back to this.
Yeah, several of the NPCs like confirm that. Like they ask like, oh, well, what about, or is it Shen? I think it's Shen who asks like, what about Leah's soul? And your hero just says, you know, she's gone, she's being devoured.
Oh man,
it's like, oh, like, and that makes me feel like so bad.
Yeah,
well,
my brother
one of those,
was
like,
pretty bummed about it. I don't know, I didn't really have that much attachment to her.
I just had
really
to
liked
explain.
her.
I explained to her, I'm like, Diablo's not a happy story, and it never has been.
I just didn't feel that attached to her, honestly. I felt more attached to Cain, and I was bummed. He deserved better than that simple death.
Better, Kane. You should have died in your bed happy.
No, at least like have him taken out by Diablo or something.
He was taken out by Diablo, sort of.
No. He had a sissy death.
No, now I'm going to disagree with you in that I really like Magda as a villain. I enjoyed that storyline. I like her design. I like her character. I mean, it's not necessarily like the most innovative thing ever, but you know, I found her. She was entertaining, enjoyable. You know, a villain you can hate.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's really all I got out of it, is I hated her, and to me that's a success.
I was kind of indifferent to her. I really like the spider chick dropping down, taunting you. Like,
Yeah.
I'm only a few feet away.
In the plus.
Like, there's some
So-
really good characters and
Yeah,
characterizations in some like really simple ways, though.
So what's everybody's favorite boss of the game? Favorite boss and favorite boss fight?
Belial.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Belial.
Favorite
So cool.
favorite boss Diablo. Favorite boss fight Butcher.
Yep, I'd have to agree with that.
Butcher's voice was lame. Sorry. I just had to
Butcher's
get
It
that.
wasn't as scary.
He didn't
as I
even
thought.
say it the first time he popped up for me. I was waiting for the fresh meat, and he didn't say it. I was so
Yeah.
bummed.
Fresh
Like,
meat.
why? Come
Mechanically,
on.
the Butcher fight is probably the best boss fight in the game.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, man. I was a bit let down by the Diablo one. I mean, it was cool and everything,
It's pretty
but
good. It's pretty good, but like
It
the
just reminded me
Butcher
too much
fight
of
is so
Sunwell.
technical, so demanding.
exactly, it's got you got to watch out for the ground, which is a whole nother element aside from the boss itself, which I thought was freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 animations
kind of-
you need to keep track of.
To be honest, it kind of all goes out the window in Inferno, though, because you have about 2 minutes to kill him before he just lights the entire room on fire and you die, no matter where you're standing.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's like
that's
super
amazing.
fast DPS race. Like, if you just do not kill him super fast. So it's like you kind of ignore everything except for his grappling hook, and you just unload on him. Try and keep him in one spot and just unload on him.
He ran across the room. Shit, get him back.
But Belial, he maintains his, like, oh, I have to dodge everything or I get one shot. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Belial was, I think, the first boss I died on.
Well, when I
yeah,
was-
it's just so cool that you're fighting him and you're like, oh, that was kind of lame, and then he's just like, no, there's no guy. It just like screen zooms out and he's massive. I'm like, ah!
Yeah, he's probably my favorite boss in terms of the look.
It's like, did I mention that on top of being the Lord of Lies, I'm also the biggest boss in the game? I don't think I did.
I mentioned I'm like 18 times the size of Diablo.
The design of Diablo, like as a character, like the model
Yeah.
design, I think was
That-
fabulous.
That
Fantastic.
is something I have a question with. So, okay, because something I missed. I thought we talked about earlier. So with the Soul Stones being destroyed, that didn't actually kill the Primevals, or did it now?
No, it never did. The
Yeah,
only
so I
thing
thought that,
things it did was imprison them temporarily.
Yeah.
yeah, so I thought in this game we were supposed to be facing Diablo in his true form, but he wasn't. He was just Lee was just yet another host for the third time.
Right.
Expansion? Sorry.
Okay, so I thought I was just missing something there, but that is basically where we're at. It's like,
Yeah.
hang on now, that was yet another host.
Yep.
I mean, if we want to get all lore, technical, glitchy, Diablo's kind of a black cloud. Let's not sugarcoat it. He doesn't really have much of a form, so...
Oh,
you
really?
know, yeah, I mean, if you read through the Sin Wars, he literally took on the shape of whatever you feared most.
It's like a bugger.
One minute he might...
mentioned that in one of the lore ads.
Yeah.
Right.
Feared
might
him
look
the
like
most
an
because
angel
he
of
appeared
light.
as Fear, basically.
He might look like your face melting away into a flaming skull in the next moment. You know, it's just that kind of thing.
I'm not too scared of that. That would actually be pretty awesome.
Yeah, see.
So that's a bad example. But
If,
I get where you're going with this, though. Like, what if he
If-
appeared as the Diablo 3 servers going offline? Like, that would just... I would be
Exactly, that would scare Ken.
now,
Me watching
Here's
someone
something-
delete my characters.
Oh, give away all your stuff. And you can
Sell
here's
this,
something
sell
about
this,
the
sell this.
here's something about the game that I think I want you guys to tell me if this got you too. The game is it's both shorter than we were necessarily some people were hoping, but at the same time it's surprisingly long.
Some
Like, there-
parts can be a grind.
Some parts can be a grind. There's only a couple parts that are grindy, but like if you think about it, like if you actually go and go like, okay, well, what do you do in Act 1? Well, you go do this.
Act 1 is freaking long.
I was kind of
Act 2 as well,
surprised
and
at
Act 3.
just how much longer it is than Diablo 2, because I was expecting them to be more or less the same length.
More or less the same. Like, you'd get it's like a couple like things that you do early in an act, and then the rest of it's really just grinding your way to the final boss. But it's like it's not like your Act 1 in particular, like, it keeps you busy, and you've got really regular changes of location. And I've got no idea what you guys are doing, but, like, I'm back in town standing next to Kane, because we're supposed to take the sword piece back.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, be right there.
We were waiting for you to talk to him so we could continue. What's taking you so long?
Bam, there you go.
I was killing stuff.
What's
Everyone
everybody's
should work
favorite
to me.
act?
3.
Yeah, that's mine too.
Uh,
I didn't even have to think about it. To me, Act 3 is
4.
what I always wanted in Diablo.
Hey.
Just like, it's seriously like a straight line from beginning to end and like a billion things to kill.
Yeah. And it's
No,
like all out
actually,
freaking
so
war,
much
man.
crap.
Siege on Bastion's Keep.
I'm going to say Act 1. I think it's the best paced. Has the best it has the most interesting variety of locations. Really well paced, good characters. I mean, you get a lot of the introduction of the characters during Act 1, so you're getting a lot of dialogue.
I'm just gonna say the art design in 3 and 4 are beyond impressive.
Yes,
Many different
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah.
The whole game,
You know,
man.
The whole game-
I was
the whole
actually
game.
surprised with 4. When I was going through 4, I took a second and was like, hang on, this actually looks like an updated version of those early pictures we saw of Diablo 3
Yeah.
getting scrapped.
Yep.
I was like,
Gorgeous.
oh, you guys are sneaky?
Day came out while I was stuck at work. I was re-listening to one of the episodes where we were talking about that, and we called a lot of stuff, man. Like going into heaven and having it be invaded, and Cain dying, and all kinds of stuff.
Pretty smart people, I'm not gonna lie. We know what we're talking about over here.
Diablo being a
It was
chick.
awesome.
Yeah,
Can I gush about the art a little bit more for a bit?
Yeah, go
Because
for
there's
it.
one thing I want to mention. Like, when we were looking at those, when they were doing the class previews, the very, very recent class previews, there was this one area in particular that they kept showing again, which was like a cracked Badland. It ends up being in Act 2. Whenever I would see them doing stuff in that environment in the videos, I was like, okay, like, I wouldn't really say it out loud, but part of me was thinking, that place looks kind of boring and kind of stupid. But once you've got the game like full screen and you're playing it and it's in motion and you've got monsters and you're actually like moving through the area instead of just seeing like a 2-second clip of someone standing in the area, like for a wasteland, it looks just fabulous.
Truly.
The art in this game is amazing.
It is.
And like anyone using Dark D3 needs to just scoop their eyeballs out with an ice cream scoop and lobotomize themselves, because like they are wrong and they are Mullins, like using that stupid sharpen filter. I get it if like maybe you've got eye problems and the soft textures like hurt your brain, but beyond that, like if you're using just because like it's got to be sharp, like you're wrong. You are wrong.
You are wrong,
Dead
human
wrong.
being.
You are wrong, sir.
Okay. You lose.
But no,
Right.
I agree. There's one part specifically that kills me every time, and it's a part in Act 1, and it's just such a beautiful contrast, and every time I go through it, I'm like, wow, dude, this is just incredible. And it's that part where you're right after Leoric's torture chamber, when you're running through all the bloody walls and just buckets of blood and tortured bodies on torture devices, and it's very red and very hot, and you just get that feeling. And then as soon as you step out of that into that one area,
Oh, to
I'm
take the
blanking on the
bridge?
name. Yeah, where you take the bridge and it's all rainy and cool and cold outside. Every time I walk out there, I'm just like, damn, dude, that is some good contrasting right there. And I am so glad I'm in this zone right now and out of that dungeon.
Like the Templar when you go in there, he's like, I knew Leoric was insane, but this is disgusting.
Yeah, it's brutal down there.
Yeah, you summed it up, buddy.
And then I get outside and I'm like, wow, dude, Blizzard actually made a rainy day look really good.
I was talking with some people about like the M-rated. People was like, okay, how M-rated is it? And I'm like, well, it's M-rated in a very, like the best way of putting it is a very mature M-rating. You know, there is violence, there is torture and whatnot, but it's not like God of War style jump out like, hey, look, I'm crazy violent. I am
Blood and boobs.
Yeah, now don't get me wrong. Like, there's a place for those games. I'm a huge God of War fan.
Oh yeah, me too.
As everybody knows. But like, just it's so refreshing to kind of have a game that's just willing to like take those elements and just kind of just have them there. Just kind of just let them be there. And if you don't stop and pay attention and look around, you're never even going to like process that that's what's going on around you. The moment where I really realized it was I came across a random thing in Act 2, which is the cannibal's lair, and just like as I was sitting there like just clearing out my inventory, like I need this, don't need this, need this, don't need this, and as I'm going through this really like dry mechanical process, I suddenly just realized where I was standing and like what this room was like. And I'm like, this is dark, but the game never said, oh, this is dark.
Yeah.
It doesn't shove it down your throat like some other game makers out there.
There's some fantastic environment immersion in this game. I mean, all the little details that they add that just suck you in. I mean, when you're running around in Bastion's Keep and you can see down below the war that's going on down there.
This place we just went through, Warrior's Rest here, like the background art and this other place we're about to go into, like the detail in these tiny little areas. You know, this one that we were just in, Warrior's Rest and Crypt of the Ancients, like they're just these little one-room dungeons, and they are so intricate with the details, and like you go into them, and it's like I really wish this was just a massive dungeon. I want to see more of this. I want to know what's down there in the background. I want to explore this more, and it's just this wonderful.
I gotta say, one of my favorites is a pretty large section, and we're fairly close to it, and that's the spider cave that comes up in the next section.
This reminds me so much of Act 3 in Diablo 2.
Except it doesn't suck like Act 3 in Diablo 2.
The best part about the spider cave is, like, every time I go through there, I'm not sure
where to go.
Not sure where to go. I haven't yet fully explored it, like mapped it out 100% on a given playthrough.
I have. It's very awesome.
And so there's just this wonderful thing, like I'm not sure if I want to or not, because I really like the feeling that I get when I'm going through there, and I just don't know how big it actually is, and so every time I find the exit, I'm like, I feel a little bit lucky.
Spoiler alert!
Somehow stumbled across it.
Every time I'm in there, I explore the entire thing, unless I'm in a group or something.
I may have done it once. Actually, no, I know I've done it once. Because my first playthrough normal, I made sure and filled out every map.
And, like, now my experience of places like the Cathedral has become extremely mechanical. I'm really familiar with the blocks that the Cathedral will use, the layout of all three levels, like what their common variations are, and the most efficient way of like navigating your way through. Like, oh, well, if you go all the way down and take a left, 80% of the time you'll come to the exit first try. If not, just go to the other end of the hallway and you'll find it. It's like,
right.
So really just mechanical way of navigating these environments, but like some of them, like the spider cave, I still don't know how they put together. I don't necessarily know the patterns, and I don't know if I want to know. Because there's this great feeling I get thinking that there's a lot of potential, like, random stuff in there, like random mini events and doodads and details that I haven't seen yet, and I'll continue to find them just as I go on in the game, keep playing. 6 months from now, I may come across an event in any of the places and just be like, wow, I'd never actually seen this before. I mean, and looking through the achievement list, like I know there are events that I haven't seen yet. Like,
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know
there's a
where
ton I
they
haven't
are.
seen yet.
What was the most
Right.
surprising one you've encountered so far?
Events?
Yes. Random event doesn't happen every time.
There was a really funny one in Act. No, it was Act 1. It was actually the Goat Master. I was
Go
surprised
on.
at the humor in it. So, like, in just this tiny, tiny little corner of the map, it was in the place just before Leoric's Manor. There was one of these summoner guys, and he's just standing there over like 3 goatmen, like their dead bodies wrapped up in mummy kind of outfit. And
Oh
he's,
yeah, I remember that one.
he's like summoning or chanting something, and you're like, oh, what now? And a bunch of ghosts come out, and you kill them real quick. It's not challenging at all, really. And he drops his little diary. He's got a diary.
Yeah,
I'll have to go
the
back
Goat
to-
Man Diary.
Yeah,
I
so
haven't-
you read it, and he's like, Magda is a fool. I will raise an army of these primitives with their spirits and all that, and I will be the Goat Master.
Oh,
They
geez,
have to
I've
work
never
on
seen
things.
this guy. I've never seen him.
Or the
I've-
Lord of Goat or something like that. He
That's
calls
right.
himself something really stupid, and he's like, they have to work on that name.
That's
Awesome.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is actually really entertaining.
where did the humor come from?
Oh, I love that stuff.
Lord of Goats.
What about you,
It
Jeff?
builds up like so epic, too. I will be the Lord of Goats.
My favorite little random event is running up into the dude, and you go into his house to meet his wife. It's just a skeleton in the chair.
Oh,
I got to see that in the
I
beta.
need to be going.
I love that one.
You know what? What did your character say when he said something like, what did he say? He said something about her getting hungry, and my wizard was like, I don't think she'll have that problem.
I like the part where he's like, she's got a good head on her shoulders, and he's just like, really? Like, you think so?
So
Didn't her
awesome.
head fall off?
Yes, it does. It rolls off on the floor.
And then I
all
punched
of-
it around a bit. It's kind of funny.
All of the companions, like the NPCs in this game are great. I've come to love every one of them. Like Cormac's still my favorite, but like the enchant, like I never remember her name, but her and Lyndon, like
Irina.
Irina,
Yeah, that sounds right.
Me, myself, and Irina.
yeah.
The achievement.
I remember that. She's actually my
Well,
favorite.
I love them all, and they've got really interesting like stories that hook back into the main storyline and like really flesh out the world. And at the same time, I want the expansions to like explore these things. There's a lot of like loose threads lying around that.
Yes, there are. I've been thinking that for a long time now.
So, speaking of these guys, so which companion or followers are you guys using when you play by yourself?
No, in Inferno, I'm using Cormac.
Usually
Yeah.
Cormac, just because I love his dialogue so much. Like he's so helpless, but like, he just needs someone to love him.
Oh, he's just so in love with everyone and just won't allow. It's so funny. I had a
She is fascinating.
Oh, we're coming to the sad
Yeah.
part.
listening to Cormac talk about the Enchantress forever, and then I actually started using the Enchantress more. And she's like, sometimes Cormac looks at me so strangely. The wizard's like, that's because he's in love with you. Yeah.
What?
Really?
I never.
You mean you've never noticed? It's like, I don't know what to do
I
about
don't know
that.
what to do about that.
It's pretty
There's
funny.
My favorite comment with her is actually very similar. She's like, I think of you as my older brother. Is that wrong? Monk's just like, no, but don't expect me to give you advice on men. She's like, but I didn't mean. I don't know what to say.
Funny because I had her say the same thing on my barbarian, and he's like, "Don't talk to me about love."
the best, like, from her, though. I was running around with my monk, who's a female monk, and he said, "Are you considered pretty where you're from?"
Oh, yeah.
The one for the
The
monk.
wizard was like, "Well,
It's like, I don't really think about things in that way. Oh, I didn't.
this is why the female wizard is the best, because now you have like you get snide comments, like it sounds like Azula making snide comments. Are you considered pretty where you're from? Well, I don't want to boast, but yeah, you're a hottie, and you know it."
Lyndon has a lot of great dialogue, especially as you get later in the game. And some of the best of it is if he's not in your party and you're just like hanging around him in town. In Act 3, he'll be like, you just stand next to him and eventually he'll be like, well, Leah won't let me comfort her, so you might as well take me with you.
Yeah.
So why are you using the Templar with your monk in Inferno, Gordon?
Mainly because, unlike certain wizard folk, I play solo, and I don't have to rely on anybody. I just go in and punch things to death. And
No, I'm curious as to he's just around for what, stat boosting?
he pretty much goes up and he'll stun them and instantly dies, and I laugh at him. And the process keeps repeating. He charges it so blindly.
And, that's basically what I found with him in Inferno. Is like he goes up and he stuns, and I'm like, yeah, nice, and then he just dies, and I'm like, So I actually decided, the only time I use him is when I'm kind of cheesing the game and getting him to just act as a roadblock for champions. Like I'll go to a bridge where it's a really thin bridge, like only it's single file, and I'll just position him so he blocks their path, and then I just nuke him from range.
Yeah, I've done that quite a bit myself.
But other than that, I actually switched to the Enchantress just because she survives more because she runs away from everything, and I just jacked her full of vitality and magic find.
Nice.
She gives armor and a 3% attack speed buff, so it's more than the Templar's ever done for me.
I noticed that Lyndon had a buff whenever he crits. I was tempted to use him, but I was like, nah, I just want him to run in and stun things, be all crazy about it.
What about you, Joe?
I rarely play solo, but when I do, I usually forget about it. I'm like, oh wait, I can use a follower.
Yeah, I've had that happen.
But the rare times that I do, I choose to use the scoundrel, and
Apparently
he talks
he does
so
most
much
damage.
trash. Oh my gosh! It's really awesome.
Nice.
Purely for the entertainment value.
We did get a little sidetracked. Dan, what was your favorite random event moment?
Oh, geez, that's.
Why do you have your headset?
I'm gonna say the cannibal in Act 2, just because it's the one I can think of right now, and it really, like, it's definitely up there. I don't know.
think I found the cannibal yet.
I've seen him a couple times. It's pretty awesome.
So I'm gonna go with that because it's on my mind at the moment. So it clearly made an impression.
Clearly. I would say my favorite was in Act 4. you find this room, and it has like this
The
huge
platforms?
Yes.
Platforms.
Yeah.
Platforms. Just because it was so outside of the range of what I was expecting.
It was cool. I really liked that one. There was one platform that would not pop up, though, and I was so mad. I didn't want to leave the room until it came up, but it never did.
Huh,
I had that happen on my second time doing it.
I was so mad. I was like, come on!
There's a champion. He's nightmarish. What do I do?
Oh no!
Oh yeah. Speaking of champions,
Hey,
so,
these guys only have one affix. This is like easy mode.
what's everyone's most hated affix?
As a barbarian, probably fire chains.
That's
Whenever I
on
run
up
one of
there.
those
But
now, it
I've
just
noticed that things like fire chains and arcane enchant, all those, they're nasty. They're terribly tragic. But at the same time, you can get around them as long as they don't have jailer. Jailer just messes everything up.
sucks too. Yeah.
The thing that's hard about it for me is that there's a lot of them that just aren't. It's all about the combinations. There's Arcane is probably the only affix in the game that I would say is really quite a threat just on its own, like sort of universally, and all of the other ones, like everything else, it's all about the combinations. You know, even Desecrator just isn't that. Invulnerable minions. There you go.
Yeah.
There's my hated.
Yeah, that's definitely one of them.
Yep.
No matter
playing
what
with
it
Mark
comes
and
with,
Hell.
it's just annoying.
I was playing with Mark and Hell, and we got to a point where we just couldn't even beat it. We had to make a new game just because we were getting stomped with invulnerable minions, and they had like some other ridiculous things like Desecrator and Jailer or something stupid like that, and it just
Shielding. How about
stomped
invulnerable
us.
minions and shielding so nobody takes any damage?
Look. Here is the worst. Here's the worst. Invulnerable minions plus. Are you ready for this? Horde. Now there are 50 million invulnerable minions
Yeah,
that you
pretty
can't
good.
kill.
I haven't ran into that, thankfully.
Yeah, that's
Invulnerable
it.
minions, depending on what they are, like if they're slow, stupid things, then that'll take them out. But if they're fast, I just avoid them. Like it's not even worth it. But I think for me, as the wizard, like Jailer is a joke because I just I can break CC. So anytime I get jailed, I just hit my mirror images and it completely negates it. Most of them, I can just pop Diamond Skin and negate them. And I'm the kiting champion, so a lot of the other things, like even Mortar, I have learned to deal with. I can actually outrange Mortar, so I don't even care about that one anymore. It's Vortex gets me.
Anybody like how slow this chick walks?
Isn't this the Enchantress or the Enchanter?
Yeah, it is.
The
The
third,
Mystic.
the
Mystic.
Mystic. Yeah, that's the one.
Yep. That's the one.
Can we hurry up and leave, please?
Enchant
Sure.
my gear.
Whenever you're ready.
So the thing with
Oh,
the
a
affix
minute
is
now.
like,
It's a unique guy.
aside from those, like a couple that are really kind of sort of universally irritating or a threat on their own, by and large it comes down to combinations. It's combinations that make it viciously brutal.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, if something's like Jailer, Knockback, Nightmarish, you come across that on Hell, you're like, sweet, free loot.
Come across that on Inferno.
I like Vortex and Extra Health. That's always a good one. I like coming across that.
Yeah,
I
like
love
because you've got some like if it comes in combinations, it's like, oh well, that's just irritating. But like Jailer Arcane is suddenly like, back. I'm gonna
Yeah.
Just chimed in. Vampiric reflect damage.
Jeez.
I'm
You
gonna
know,
add
like-
one to that. Vampiric reflect damage extra health.
So
Yeah.
like Vampiric's one of those ones that like it's either going to be just an absolute bane of your existence, or it's not going to be that big of a deal. Vampiric Jailer, who cares? Vampiric Desecrator, you really got to stay at that Desecrate, or you're going to give them all their health back right away.
So brutal.
Yeah, that's actually something that I thought was really funny. I thought Vampiric, when I first started playing, was only from like their melee attacks or their main attack, but all of their extra AFK
Everything.
effects is vampiric as well. So like they're molten, they're lightning charges. And it's hilarious watching that when me and Dan actually, when I first figured that out, we were tanking the crap out of this guy. Like, it wasn't even, I think it was normal difficulty. The guy didn't even hurt us really, so Dan's just standing there tanking it, standing in like molten, or a plague. Yeah, it was plague. He was plague vampiric. Oh, okay, so he must have been nightmare at least. Plague vampiric, so he's just standing there in the plague pool because it's not doing anything, and I'm just watching the guy's health just constantly go up. Like, that's plague just healing him.
Nasty.
A bunch of my friends have realized that it's like they'll come across certain combinations and they have to dismiss Cormac because he'll just stand there and like heal them. And in Act 4, like working your way through a couple of the areas, if you come across something that's like molten, desecrator, vampiric, it's almost impossible because you have Tyrael with you. You can't dismiss him. He has infinite life. And so he just heals them forever.
Oh,
yeah, I actually came across that Inferno Act 2 right at the beginning. I had, right where the, what are those guys? The Iron Wolves, where you meet them outside the gate and they're defending the civilians. Yeah. The Iron Wolves and the civilians all have infinite health, and I came across a couple of vampiric guys who just stayed on them and just wailed into them. I'm like, well, that's cool. The timer came and just killed me because I couldn't kill them.
I think one of the funnier combinations I've seen, they're plagued, molten, desecrator. There's literally like nowhere to stand that does not own your face in Inferno. Like literally, you're like, I'm a melee, but this entire hallway is on fire, poisoned, and whatever desecration is, I don't even know.
You guys should really try playing Wizard.
Yeah.
I thought about it.
I've got too many balls.
It was going to be my second for a while, but there's just so many of them.
Really?
Yep. There's a lot of them. So I think my next one is going to be Demon Hunter. Gonna go with the old DH.
The old Demon Hunter. So does anyone else's pinky hurt like a mofo?
Pinky?
From holding down the shift button. I actually had to rebind that key.
I rebound it to tab like right away because
it's so
I can just rest my hand.
Now my kill the grave button. I could not keep it on the left shift anymore.
Perhaps because of my job, I have an epically strong, every finger.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, we got a question, by the way, from somebody asking what we do for a living.
Ah.
If we want to answer that.
Massage therapist right here. I have fingers of doom.
Oh, you would, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah. And then, back when I was younger, I actually used to milk cows. So, don't let my hand squeeze your throat. I will kill you.
Pop your trachea.
Oh crap.
I've got a lot of equipment.
I am
run off by yourself.
I'm a student, so I work wherever is going to pay me money.
Alright.
So during the summers, I do technician work with security systems, so I install them and service them. I service.
Serviceman.
And then during the semesters, I work in the video game retail industry.
Woohoo!
Did you get to take home one of those awesome Diablo displays?
No, I don't work for GameStop, so we don't. Where I work, there's no displays.
Oh. I got one of the regular display ones. I didn't get the really epic one. I was kind of sad about that.
I did used to work for their Canadian branch, EB Games, and I hated it. That is a horrible company.
Does not surprise me.
They're still the best for pre-ordering collector's editions, which I hate, but other than that, I will never step foot.
Speaking of collector's editions, I had to wait until 8 o'clock to get mine delivered. That is the last time I order a game from Amazon that I
Yeah.
want the day of.
That's exactly why I went through games.
Yeah,
like, no
if you
way.
want to do a midnight release collectors, you go to GameStop.
I was so bummed.
So Joe, what do you do?
Me, I'm a photo editor. Photoshop and Camera Raw is my life, and I love my job so much. I have so much fun at work.
So when we see you beating Inferno Diablo, we'll know. Photoshop.
Hey, it'll be video. I can't
Still
feel
Photoshop. The
I
video of photoshopped images.
Yeah.
I am a multimedia producer. Right now, so I do a lot of different things, but right now I'm working in healthcare, making reference and training materials for a hospital. Like I'm an on-staff multimedia producer for a hospital.
Fun.
I'm a professional Diablo 3 gamer.
Yeah.
Just play the auction house.
Not until the auction house is out. The real money auction house, that is.
No, I already started.
Yeah.
I got advanced access to real money auction house. Selfish to myself.
I made a bajillion
Made,
dollars
massive
already.
profit.
I like
the
those.
gold auction house is. I thought with all that the chest abuse that was going on, I thought the prices would have gone down, but no
Chest
dice.
abuse.
Oh yeah, so
Explain.
they recently hotfixed it, but there is a resplendent chest that had a
Oh, yeah, I
100%
heard
spawn
about
rate
this.
about 30 seconds in from a checkpoint. That people were farming about 600,000 gold in an hour with it.
Oh my god.
Crazy.
That's insanity.
I take issue with things like that.
So when you see something on the auction house for 17 million and it actually sells, yeah, you know why. Someone wasn't being legit. Screw
Yeah,
them.
that's so lame.
It is lame. I'm injured. Sounds kind of funny.
So where is this chest?
It's in Alcarnet. It's been hotfixed.
No, I know where it is. I know where it was anyway.
Well, it still spawns. It's just 50% of the time instead of 100%.
Instead of 100%, yeah.
So, yeah, it's just whatever.
Lame.
Nightmarish.
And there's some other exploits too.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get into those. Let's talk about them.
Well, I know one of them was hotfixed with the wizard. Actually, okay, hang on. There's two huge, I think, a little bit of... They're going to get nerfed. None of them I ever did. One of them was with force armor. It was absorbing a lot more health than it was supposed to. So it's energy armor with the rune force armor that any hit that would do more than 35% of your health only does 35%. But it's basically making wizards immune in Act 4. Inferno. Like, they could tank damage from just about anything and not die. Actually, throughout all of Inferno.
Oh wow.
So I actually watched a video of a wizard. He killed Belial and didn't move. On Inferno, he never moved. He just took
What?
it. It didn't do anything to him. So that was
Holy
hot.
crap.
So a lot of wizards are mad about that. But they're also a bunch of idiot noobs abusing bugs. So the other one right now, I don't think it's been hotfixed, is with Frost Nova and a what's it called? Dang it! It's a passive that critical mass. So it's a passive that anytime you crit, it reduces your cooldowns by 1 second. So if you get Frost Nova, you get the rune on it that reduces the cooldown to
I know
9
where this is
seconds.
going.
You get critical mass, and you spec for increased attack speed and increased crit, and you just go completely buck wild with it.
Oh, wow.
Your Frost Nova has 100% uptime, and you can keep anybody, even, I don't know, Diablo on Inferno, completely Frost Nova locked.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. I actually watched another video of a guy doing that to Belial. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So, the other one right now, I don't think it's been hotfixed. One of them was with force armor. It was absorbing a lot more health than it was supposed to. So it's energy armor with the rune force armor that anytime you crit, it reduces your cooldowns by 1 second. So if you get Frost Nova, you get the rune on it that reduces the cooldown to 9 seconds. So you just go completely buck wild with it.
I am not surprised.
The funniest one I've seen, though I wouldn't consider this necessarily be an exploit, it's just a very, very, very specific build that's unbalanced. This one's not an exploit, it's just an imbalance. Is if you build a Witch Doctor like just right, you can basically not infinitely chain cast zombie bears, but you can cast it at massive damage for pretty much like just long enough to kill almost anything in like 30 seconds or less.
There was some stuff, like the first time I killed Diablo and Asmodan. It was very underwhelming fights. I mean, it took maybe 15 seconds because I believe I was with Motor Skull. And two barbarians can just stun lock bosses in normal because you get the bash with that rune that has a chance to stun, and then of course ground stomp. So you get two barbarians switching between stuns, and boss can't do anything. But I noticed they took that out. Like in Hell, you can't. That stun, the bash stun, doesn't work on Diablo. So I was kind of bummed about and kind of happy about at the same time.
See, that's what's so funny about the Frost. Like, Frost Nova lasts about half a second on bosses in Inferno. It's just that with 100% uptime, it's cheating.
Rude. Yeah, these trees are brutal.
I hate them. They're such
You
a
gotta
waste
stay
of
on your
time.
toes.
I think the only exploit I
kill.
recall was the one with the series of monks all basically swapping out the invulnerability.
Yeah, so explain that one, because I don't get that one. I don't play Monk.
Well, basically you have a particular mantra that gives you the ability... Actually, was it that or Serenity?
No, it was Serenity. It's
Okay.
Serenity. One of the rules for Serenity gives the invulnerability to all party members. Like, so it gives you invulnerability for 3 seconds.
Right, 3 seconds.
So 3 seconds, and it gives it to your party with this rune. It gives your party 2 seconds of invulnerability.
And what's
Yeah.
the cooldown on it?
But there's no cooldown, or sorry, no, there is a cooldown on Serenity. The cooldown's only like 15 seconds or so.
Oh, that's nuts.
Yeah, I believe that's right.
You know, in a tough fight, like it's 15 seconds forever.
Right. But still,
Yeah,
you get
that-
4 monks rolling through that.
Yeah, that was
They've
even
got
mentioned in the
50%
beta.
invulnerability.
God.
Someone in the beta was like, "Yeah, by the way, you guys might want to look into this because we
That's
can
actually what I was thinking as well.
Yeah, I remember
chain
that.
invuln this, no problem."
Dooba-doo-bop-ah. I
My
love this
Witch Doctor
game
is so
much.
fragile right now, and it's probably because I'm only wearing like half a set of equipment. Because we were testing a power leveling technique, and so I went to like level 7 from level 1 with no gear. So I started this with like gloves, and that was it.
Some what? It's everybody's least favorite act.
Portions of Act 3.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning toward 3.
Oh, it's 2 for me. But it could just be because I've been playing it so much. I would get to a point in Act 2, and then I'd go and help somebody else who's stuck in Act 2, and then somebody else, and so I was just doing it so many times where I was like, God, get me in Act 3 already.
Gotta
Just
do
like
it.
this one.
Like, I mean, I've never really been a big fan of deserts, but I kind of get over it. Like, it's not that big a deal. The reason I don't like the act is because of the things that are in it, the monsters. I hate those snakes that you can't hurt until they're not invisible. It's just, and I hate wasps. I hate those stupid wasps.
Oh, those
Freaking
wasps
Walk
are the
out,
worst.
Tiny little wasps.
Oh my God. I hate those
And
things so much.
For me,
I hate the dune threshers that are burrowed and you can't hurt them until they unburrow.
for me, the thing
Basically,
with Act 3
everything.
is that the Bastion's Keep segment
Right.
goes
So
on
awesome.
forever. It's great, but it's so long. Like,
Not long enough.
in fact, for me, like you hit the point where you've like raised the catapults, and you're like, okay, it's about time for a mid boss, Leoric level kind of fight, and it's like it gives you the beginning of it. It's like, oh yeah, all right, here we go, coming up on it. I just need to go, but then you keep going. It's like you go to the next level, and it keeps going. And it goes to the next level, and then it keeps going some more. And then you're like, is it time yet? And they're like, all right, just one more short level, and then you can do it.
Then at that time you just leave and start the whole act over because it's so awesome.
Yep. That's right.
So it's good, but like particularly the second half of Bastion's Keep to me is, I'm like, this is the new Durance of Hate. It's just kind of this long, like labyrinthian, like huge maps area.
If you want to have a lot of fun, be a barbarian and do Act 3. It's hilarious. Because, like, you know how there's a lot of the steps and everything, a lot of, like, the elevated platforms. Being able to jump up and down those with leap is a riot.
Oh, I bet.
And there's so many guys, like a ton of little guys, that I like doing the ground stomp that pulls everything into you.
Oh, yeah.
And then doing a
Inferno.
revenge that hits everyone around. Oh, it's so funny.
That's what I love about the Barbarian, those just giant smash moments where you'll get like 12 in one shot. Inferno, though. Sound cut out. Everybody still here?
We're going back to town.
Is anybody alive out there?
You're all going to die down here.
Oh, I haven't watched that movie in a while. I need to see that again.
What movie?
Resident Evil.
Oh, I tell you, what I was coming back from was the movies.
Oh no, what'd you see?
The Dictator.
How was it?
Epic. There were definitely some really hilarious parts.
Not a huge fan of Sasha, not gonna lie.
I wasn't either. Like, I've never watched any of his movies through. So,
Yeah,
I think that says something.
I saw, what was that one? Borat, and I was just like, nah, this isn't for me, man.
What about Hugo?
Hugo?
It's that story about the little boy and the adventure.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Did you know he's in it?
Yeah, I noticed that.
The guard guy.
Oh,
I was like,
he didn't write that character, so I was all right with that.
I was like, when I watched the preview, I'm like, wait, he's not playing a retard. He's actually like, this is a legitimate role for him. This isn't him screwing around and ticking people off. That's weird. How did he?
He's
do
also
with it?
in a Sweeney Todd.
I did notice that.
Yep, he's the barber he competes with.
How does he do with like actual roles?
He's pretty good, actually.
Like,
He's a
I've
good
seen
actor.
interviews with him, and I'm like, you could be so much more.
Well, yeah, I mean, to do what he does, play characters convincingly and like mess with people all the time, you have to be good at what you're doing. So he's got talent. It's just, I don't know, the stuff.
Whether or not that humor is your shtick.
Yeah, exactly. Can't deny the good dude's good at what he does. Anyway.
Brett Logs. Leok Shinbone.
Yay! That's my second
Oh, what's
one.
Leoric Shinbone for?
Oh, we'll get into that next time. Little cliffhanger. This is where we're going to leave it anyway.
Woo!
Dan's having problems getting back in, but this show's gone on long enough. Plus, he's at a Diablo party right now, so...
Yeah.
And I want to hop back on my Barbarian and get owned in Inferno some more.
Me too.
Me? No. Screw it. Get back on my monk.
Back to,
Sauce.
back to
Monk
farming
sauce.
Act 1 Inferno. Sad face.
Sad face indeed.
Let's see if I can add him back so we can say goodbye to everybody. Dan, add call. Come on. There he is.
There's
My
the man of the hour.
completely freaked out.
And he's back. Just as we're coming to a close. That was convenient.
Go.
Wounded bad. Ooh, did you guys notice the little monastery down in the background there?
I did not.
That's one of my favorite little things.
Wait a minute, what?
How sick is
Is
that?
that the
Yeah, come
cathedral?
over here.
Wait,
Yeah.
You see the cathedral.
Yep, buddy.
That's awesome.
I need to show that to everybody.
I've always in too big a hurry, I guess.
That's what I'm saying,
Funny.
man. The little details they put in there. Just
This is like Leoric's like getaway manor for hunting. Like we went through Leoric's hunting grounds. Like this is where he goes to chill. It's amazing.
So call it here.
Yep, before we go to the halls of agony. This is one of my favorite areas, so we'll save it for next time because it's a good one.
Woo!
Oh man, it feels good to do shows. We gotta do it more often.
Yes, we do.
Which we will. Hopefully you guys like this one, but we're gonna get out of here. So, say goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye, everyone.
Farewell, loyal 8, wherever you are.
We'll see you all next time on the World Stone Keep. Bye, everybody.